think the key thing is realizing how serious it all is. And I think one of the reasons why the undercover police were able to be so effective is that people didn't realize what levels of interest the state has in any form of political dissent. So understanding that and understanding how, a lot of the time when we're not successful in our campaigns, or like groups, social movements that we're involved in fall apart, it's not because the people involved are like somehow inherently like and incapable of organising together. It's that the state's taking a really large interest. I'm sure that continues to this day with current campaigns that are dysfunctional. So I think it's like understanding that and understanding the detail. I mean, I do believe it is an alternative. It's the secret history of Britain. It's the reason why our society has developed in the way it has. Not just because of these individual officers that infiltrated these individual campaigns, but the wider infrastructure of repression, of which we're getting just seeing a little corner of. Because every time we're at the inquiry, we learn about little things that, greater aspects of this infrastructure of repression. Other units. I mean, as well as the undercover officers. There were lots of police officers who would go into plain clothes to attend demonstrations. There were units that would just do surveillance, that would just be in the same places where meetings took place, at the other side of the bar, watching. The undercover officers are just the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much more than that. That's before we get into the world of informers and corporate spies. And I mean, just the interest that's taken in those. The Cabinet Office took great interest in the reports of the undercover police. There's so much more going on from the state when it comes to the dirty tricks that they'll play on radical movements. Really encourage people to follow the revelations as they come out. I mean, one of the issues with it is there's so much shocking information that things get lost in the shuffle, and I think it's particularly pertinent. Whatever political movement you're active within now, that there will be in the recent past there will have been a campaign doing a very similar thing, which the deployment of undercover police has been one of the roles they had was destroying institutional memory. And I think if we can encourage people to rediscover the history of those movements, they'll understand a lot more about how they can be effective. And the police don't see. We tend to look at our own movements as lots of disparate things, lots of different kind of movements, lots of new stuff. There's always new things happening all the time, new campaigns, new formations. The police don't see it like that. They see it as one unbroken line from when they formed the SDS in 1968, though spying goes back a lot further than that, obviously. But, the formation that they used since 68, they see that as one unbroken line straight through. Different organizations, different time periods, different parts of the country, they see it's all part of the same thing. They make jokes about the fact that people think they've got these big differences between each other. I think one of the great sort of learnings that we can take out of the inquiry is that we've got a great more in common than we have got as differences, and that if people who are want to campaign for a better world can work together and understand their own history, they can be a lot more effective as campaigners. We've just relaunched our website, spycops.info. You can find the podcast that we do kind of regularly on there. I've been doing regular updates on all social media. If you just search the hashtag Spycops, you'll find all of it. So I'd encourage people to do that. I'm doing live videos every day and doing a recap video at the end of each day. So yeah, please share if you're able to.